everybody, I'm Sarah and I'm a recorder player. Welcome back to Team Recorder. If you're not subscribed already, please hit subscribe and don't forget to click on the bell icon so you get a notification when I post. Also, you can still enter my giveaway for one of these 5 Eric Boscraft CDs. All the information on how to enter is in the description. Winners announced next week on my Instagram. So, are you auditioning for something? A role, a band, a school, a scholarship, a concert series, an ensemble? Well, I am here to help you get that audition. I have done a lot of auditions in my time, and I have to say my track record is pretty good, but I have had some pretty big fails as well, so I have learned from my mistakes. And while you can never be 100% sure, and if you don't get an audition, it's not the end of the world, I've got quite a few tips that can help you. So let's go. The first thing to be aware of is that there are a lot of different types of audition depending on what you're going for. And I've had to think about this, and each different type of audition, they're going to be looking for a different ratio of your potential versus something specific. Let's see, at the potential end, you have an audition for a school, a conservatoire, maybe a bachelor course. They are looking at your potential here. In theory, you're going to be a student there for 3 or 4 years. They want to see how you can grow. So while, yes, you on the day and how you're playing is very important, they're also looking at your potential for developing further, your motivation, kind of your personality. This was evidenced in my audition for Birmingham Conservatoire, where I had 0 knowledge and 0 experience really, but a lot of enthusiasm, and thankfully they took me. At the other end of the spectrum is when you're auditioning for a role. Maybe this is a role in a play or a place in a concert series, something very specific. So yeah, you could show up and play your absolute best that you've ever played in your life, but if you're not exactly what they're looking for, they might not take you. This can sound disheartening, but actually it's a good way of kind of accepting it, letting it go, and carrying on with your life. And in the middle, you've got your scholarships and your grants. They're looking a bit more at your potential because you're taking their money and doing something with it. And a bit more on the specific side is going to be a place in an ensemble or an orchestra, a band. Yes, there is a lot of room for development once you're a part of that group, but they're probably still looking for something specific. So we've got this nice spectrum. What is the point of me saying all of this? Basically, just to have a think about what you're going for and to kind of make your peace with it beforehand. If they don't take you for that role, it's not because you're a bad musician. They just might have been looking for something super specific and you just weren't it. The next step is preparation. Preparation is key. You have to know the pieces you are playing inside out. Give yourself the time to fully internalize them, become comfortable with them so you can really embody them when you're performing. I've definitely made this mistake before when I tried to play a very virtuosic, flashy piece for an audition. I didn't give myself enough time to prepare and I was just a bit nervous and worried on stage. I could much better have played a simpler piece that I knew really well and have really brought it? I don't know. It's better to play 99% correct but really great performance than play everything perfect but it's really boring and stale. And it's not only the pieces you're preparing, but make sure you prepare all around it as well. If you're auditioning for an ensemble that plays a specific kind of repertoire, play a lot of pieces from that repertoire. Really get familiar with the language and the style. If that ensemble performs amplified, practice playing with a microphone. If that ensemble performs from memory, practice your audition pieces from memory. You can see where I'm going with this. And then when you get into that audition room, be you. In the meantime, I've been an adjudicator and I can tell you, you see so many people playing fast, flashy, impressive notes, and when somebody comes in with their personality and brings a connection and emotion, it's just like, Choosing your repertoire, it's also really important to show different things, especially with the recorder. We have so many different styles, but please remember, just picking 3 pieces in 3 different styles isn't enough. You have to actually perform them in different styles as well. It's no good having 3 pieces from different time periods, but every single one of them is like And then we get to all of the aspects of the audition that aren't actually about playing at all. The first one is simply be a person. Walk into the room, smile, shake their hand, say hello, have a nice open body language. The jury are people too, and try and have a bit of a connection with them, as scary as that may sound. Do not ignore the interview. Many auditions will have an interview, especially if you're auditioning for conservatory or a scholarship or, yes, even an ensemble. And it's so important to prepare for this. It's absolutely fine to be nervous. If your voice is wavering a little bit or your heart is pounding, they won't mind. They've seen it before, but they do want to see that you've thought about it. The best thing you can do is try and think of every question they could possibly ask you, write them down, and practice the answers in your head. In auditions, I've had some quite far out questions. My interview for Birmingham Conservatoire, they asked me if I read any publications about the recorder and which ones. In my interview for a big scholarship, they had researched my recorder teacher and asked me questions about his career. The most important question, which they will certainly ask you, is, why do you want this? Why do you apply to this school? Why do you want to be part of this group? Why do you want this scholarship? So, some years ago, I got to the finals of the Julius Isserlis Scholarship, which is this huge scholarship in England. You get £20,000, you get all of this cool stuff, and I absolutely bombed my audition. I did not get it. I was so focused on playing the pieces, I completely forgot to prepare for the interview. And they asked me, what are your artistic plans? And my mind just went completely blank. I hadn't really thought about what I would say. I made some bullshit answer, and it was basically as if they were saying, what will you do with this money? And I was saying, I don't know. I did not get that scholarship, but I learned from it. And when you're answering questions like these, it's important to think, why do you want it? What will you do with it? But what is the importance for the people giving the audition? What can you give back to the school or to the scholarship givers or to that band? Remember, at an audition, you're hoping to embark on a relationship, a two-way thing. You're not just taking from them. And then my biggest piece of advice, which actually applies to all of life, is eat! I once had an audition for an ensemble and my slot was quite late, like 8:30 in the evening. I'd come from somewhere else, I'd taken a long train to get there. I arrived and I was warming up and practicing, and I just completely forgot to eat anything. By the time I got into the audition, I was a bit tired and woozy. I remember we had to sight read some ensemble music and I played it through and turned around and said, oh wow, that's really weird harmony. And they were like, yeah, there's 2 flats in the key signature. I'm not going to blame everything in that terrible audition on the fact that I hadn't eaten dinner, but it did play a big part. So take snacks with you, be prepared, and then at the end of the day, just go in there and do your best. Be yourself, that's all you can do. If you get it, fantastic. If you don't, life goes on, and please keep going, don't give up just because you miss out on one audition. If you're auditioning for something soon, please let us know in the comments. I'll give you a little good luck boost and a wave. That was it. As always, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking on my face down here. Here's a link to the Team Recorder Patreon where you can choose to support the channel, and the Team Recorder web shop is in the description. Up here is a link to last week's video with Eric where you can also enter the giveaway for his CDs. And that's it. Have a great day.